China is excelling in corporate espionage. Most of the conflict between the United States and China today is not militarily but economically. China is stealing information from the United States government and US based companies. China knows to grow its economy more than 5% every year, it's going to have to innovate, and the easiest way to innovate is by stealing intellectual property. China knows that their success long term is economically more than anything. China wants to be beyond the world's factory. Right now, they excel in low cost manufacturing, but they want to be a high tech powerhouse like the United States. They believe that that's where the future is, and they're right to think that. The easiest way to innovate to get to where they need to be, compared to the West, is to steal from the West. So, China has spent the last decade stealing trade secrets and intellectual property and sensitive business information from US companies and the US government. They do that through cyber attacks, through physical theft, and insider recruitment within US based companies. They incentivize people within the company and they steal on behalf of the Chinese government. Much of this has been linked to the official Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party, but a lot of it is just on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party. Hackers affiliated with the People Liberation Army and the Ministry of State Security have been accused directly for stealing. So there is direct evidence of this. They're doing it mostly in advanced technology fields. So fields like semiconductors, artificial intelligence, aerospace, pharmaceuticals, and defense. A few notable cases. In 2017, Huawei was accused of stealing trade secrets from T-Mobile. In 2018, a Chinese wind turbine company was convicted of stealing proprietary software from U.S. companies. The Chinese stole information from Lockheed Martin about the F-35 jet program in order for them to reverse engineer the secrets behind this jet and the technology in the jet for their own, for them to reverse engineer it for their own development. Obviously, there has been a lot of conversation about TikTok and data concerns as the company that operates in China is beholden to the Chinese Communist Party, and that company has all of the information affiliated with American consumers that use this app. Obviously, the Chinese deny this all, even though there is strong evidence that it's happening. The Chinese do have some official positions, however, that are related to this. So the most immediate one is they put in place a program called Made in China 2025 in order to, it's an industrial plan to have China make their own goods. And critics of the plan say that this is going to incentivize theft of American technology in order for them to dominate the industries that they want to dominate in. The industries like AI, aerospace, biotech, semiconductors, quantum computing. In order for them to get a leg up and make it in China, they're going to need the US technology behind it. They also have a program called the 1,000 Talents Program. It's in order to incentivize Chinese researchers and business people to return home with their knowledge to build whatever they were building in Europe, in the United States, and abroad, to come back to China in order to build it there. It's also not just for Chinese expats. It's also just for anybody who wants to go to China and bring their trade knowledge. There's also there's also forced technology transfer. So when a company wants to do business in China, the Chinese government will require them to hand over IP, or if they want to have a joint venture with a Chinese company, that joint venture will often require sharing of technology. The U.S. has obviously responded. The FBI has cracked down on individual cases where they see theft taking place. They want to counter this economic espionage because it's a huge loser for the United States. It's also been a huge part of sanctions and trade wars that the Trump administration, term one, put in place, that the Biden administration ramped up over the last 4 years, and I have a feeling it will be part of the China U.S. relationship in the coming 4 years with President Trump. There have been indictments and arrests when it comes to these, where Chinese nationals or corporate executives operating in the U.S. Have been charged with this espionage. And obviously, the U.S. is spending billions of dollars on cybersecurity measures in order to protect data and technology. The U.S. also has a long history of economic espionage. The United States did this with manufacturing secrets and textile secrets relative to Europe in the 19th century. In order to industrialize in the U.S., we stole all sorts of secrets from Europe and how to build factories and how to do textile production here in the U.S. More recently, the focus on economic espionage has been not for economic gain, but for national security and geopolitical intelligence. And it's been done not through direct threat theft like the Chinese do, but through surveillance measures as opposed to direct theft. Intelligence agencies in the 1990s stole information from Airbus on behalf of Boeing to create increased productivity among Boeing. That was in the 90s. In 2013, Edward Snowden leaked information from the U.S. government, the NSA, that showed all sorts of espionage that was taking place. The NSA has a program called PRISM that collects massive amounts of data from global internet companies and communications companies, including from foreign governments and foreign corporations. Snowden also revealed that the U.S. had tapped German Chancellor Angela Merkel's phone for diplomatic and economic purposes. So it's not like the United States doesn't do this either. It's not like European nations don't also do this. The big difference is that while all countries spy on each other, China has been focused on the technological theft, while the United States has been focused on national security and trade advantages. And so U.S. firms are very upset that all of their IP that has been hard won and expensive to build is now being stolen by the Chinese.